All right, Kapun Piso here. We create God and delusions in the mind with the brain. Well, religious beliefs are created in the brain, as well as are all kind of mythologies and conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories is the acceptance of bullshit to be reality, just like religion is. Same thing. No evidence. Research will find out that all the conspiracy theorists are brought up in religion-infected homes. And of course, you know, and they are very ignorant of science. They don't understand that, but they are addicted to dopamine, these feel-good chemicals in the brain that make you feel good and accept bullshit as reality because it feels good, like fairy tales. This is the reason religious beliefs flourish all over the world. And books, fiction books like this, like the Bible, Winnie the Pooh, and fairy tales are more popular than facts. Like, for instance, how to read hieroglyphs. It takes years to understand this. Who's going to do it? That's my point. Conspiracy theories have been going around for millennia. And recently you have this guy, this Christ-psychotic Hoagland that, you know, believes in these aliens and mysterious things and UFOs and the face in Mars and the rest of the conspiracy. He even created a man here. So, you know, you can see it's totally ridiculous. This is the truth right here. That's the reason we have a bunch of ignorant kids brought up in Christ-psychosis infected homes that after 9/11, in their stupidity and ignorance, they start imagining all this stuff and creating all these movies and all that. And the stupid people believe them because the majority of Americans are infected with Christianity. Here they are.
The official report about what happened at the Twin Towers is ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. They never explain the collapse. There's collapse initiation, and once we reach collapse initiation, the video speaks for itself.
That's what Faith-Psychosis and ignorance does to the brain. This kid flunked out of school, educational system in the US.
We were there, we had our hands on the pieces of steel. What we did was factual. We back it up with calculations, we back it up with scientific principle.
So
Scientific!
It looks like a controlled demolition, but it has nothing to do with it.
That's right.
We were able to develop an analytical analog of the whole collapse mechanism, had nothing to do with any outside or inside explosives other than the impact of the plane and the fire.
That's right.
You see these puffs coming out.
Puffs! It was the aliens that did it!
Apparent, the floors have been blown out of the way as the building is falling.
There were a lot of things happening on screen that I would not normally expect to see.
No, it's not normal. Just Christ-psychotic idiot. That's what they are. People brought up in
As the buildings collapsed, they literally pulverized the materials inside the building. The concrete floors of the building were essentially turned to dust, as were the sheetrock walls. That's why you saw this light gray colored dust forming as the buildings collapsed.
Many 9/11 conspiracy theorists say the Pentagon attacked itself. In April 2002, French author Thierry Masson published a book he called 9/11, The Big Lie.
Theory Meissen presents very persuasive evidence that whatever hit the Pentagon, it was not a Boeing 757.
For 9/11's truth? Doesn't this Theodore realize that he's creating all this bullshit with his brain, produced by neurons and axons? He should go to see a neurologist because it's infected with Christ-psychosis.
A missile of the United States Armed Forces could enter the Pentagon's airspace without provoking a counter-missile barrage.
Ability to believe that really depends on ignoring a huge variety of evidence. Hundreds of people saw an American Airlines jet fly into that building.
Masson's book was a bestseller in France and throughout the Middle East.
Crashes that are available to me. To imagine 100 tons of steel and titanium vanishing into dirt, especially if Flight 93 was supposed to have crashed intact.
The retarded said, no, you're flying 500 miles an hour straight down, moron. What are you going to
find? You would have seen a lot more.
Idiot.
The ground impact is what we call an uncontrolled flight into the ground. And therefore, the depth of the crater was a lot deeper and different than we saw in the World Trade Center and the Pentagon.
We have this idea that when planes crash, they crack in half and there's this dramatic burned wreckage. That's what happens when planes crash at very low speeds, usually on approach or takeoff from an airport. This plane was flying straight down, it was approaching the speed of sound. It would have if it had gone much farther, and made it into soft ground with incredible velocity.
There seems to be this theory that
alien reactors
that I guess had paperwork or things on their computers that needed to be utterly destroyed by manner of destroying the entire building. That seems like quite a long way to go to take out a couple of computers or file cabinets, but in the conspiracy theory realm, that's the sort of stuff that passes.
Controlled demolition by aliens.
To some conspiracy theorists, Larry Silverstein's phrase, "pull it," suggests that he may have ordered the building to be demolished.
Yes.
For those who study conspiracy movements, this evolution from doubt to certainty is not only typical, it's crucial.
Once you have the pattern you're settled on, you then look for and find confirmatory evidence to fit it.
Until the government can prove without a shadow of a doubt that Al-Qaeda was behind September 11th,
You just see and filter everything you can find, and you just erase the rest.
the American people have every reason to believe otherwise. The official story becomes the conspiracy theory.
According to the conspiracists, the official story starts with the 9/11 hijackers.
We are in a country that is infected with Christ-psychosis. In other words, if people believe there was a resurrected zombie named Jesus that was crucified and resurrected so he can save with his blood for the sin committed by a madman and a ripped woman when they accepted a fruit by a talking snake. They believe that, which are Christianity, and the 80% of Americans believe this bullshit. Why would not believe in any conspiracy theory that anybody presents? Of course they're going to believe all the garbage. They're stuck in the Middle Ages. They are theotards.
Everybody else is wrong. There's a messianic aspect to conspiracy theory.
Exactly. Messianic. Exactly.
At its root, it's saying, I know the truth.
Yeah.
All you other people are wrong.
Exactly.
But I've got this deeper wisdom.
Yes. Christ-psychotic. Very well said. What people don't realize today is that we create God and delusions with our brains. Deep wisdom comes from being an atheist, lacking belief in the bullshit, and learning and studying science and being a skeptic. That's deeper wisdom. There is no soul, there is no God. Air in our lungs, that's the soul.
Under fire, but still fervent, the so-called 9/11 truthers are proving agile.
I put that on script, I could read it.
When presented with evidence that contradicts their theories, the filmmakers behind Loose Change head back to the edit room to make reviews.
We're revamping our investigation and our information.
One topic they've had second thoughts about, the cell phone calls from the hijacked flights.
Like, the preponderance of evidence suggests that some of these cell phone calls were fake.
It suggests that you're an idiot.
And if
hundreds of evidences that we create God with our brain. And if you start believing in God and all these fantasies as reality, you are a theotard.
You are a man infected with Christ-psychosis is highly probable.
That's what the evidence shows.
I don't know anything about evidence. Years. Then they laughed at us for a year. Now they've been attacking us for a year. It isn't working. It isn't.
Where is the evidence? It's just like Christians.
Embraces conspiracy theory has given up skepticism and embraced utter certainty.
Yeah.
In fact, the conspiracy theory is they have the answer. They know how things happen.
Like Christians.
They know exactly what happened on 9/11.
But it's not going to shift totally that President Bush knew 9/11 was going to happen.
People have all sorts of reasons not to trust the government, and that's a healthy thing. People shouldn't trust the government. They should be skeptical. What's happened, though, is that I think some people on the fringes have seized on that healthy distrust, that healthy skepticism, whole political agenda.
Garbage. Delusions.
Tolerate it because at its root, it's corrosive. It's not honoring history. It's not
all these lies cannot be tolerated. It's something like religion. It shouldn't be tolerated. It's a psychosis, like a schizophrenia. Religious faith as conspiracy theories are produced in malfunctioning brains. It's a mental disorder. And this teaching of this garbage, which it shouldn't be done in the United States, we should rely on science produced by mentally healthy brains. Pace di oro.